Good morning, Year 6.
Morning.
And today's chapter is called Foul Play, chapter 23. I'm so sorry, Detective, said Stella as she looked across at him in the library. But I can't quite believe it was just an accident. I think it might be. She hesitated for a moment before saying the word. Murder. Murder indeed, Strauss tutted. And what makes you, young miss, so convinced it was foul play? Listen, Detective Strauss, my aunt made us all a pot of tea on the morning of the accident. Well, that was a very kind thing of her to do, said the detective. Yes, and completely out of character, replied the girl. The detective stroked his moustache. I would be very interested to know in how you say Aunt Alberta murdered your parents with a pot of tea. The man laughed uproariously at the thought. The little girl hesitated for a moment before she replied, because I think it was laced with poison. The detective fell silent for a moment. He gave the girl a cold, hard stare, which sent shivers down her spine. You think you know, or you know? He demanded. I know. I think I know. Stella was going to pieces now. It was as if it was her who was being interrogated. Miss, I hardly need to remind you that this is an extremely grave allegation to make. Again, the girl began to doubt herself. Her version of events started unravelling in her mind like a falling ball of string. However, Stella was sure of one very important thing. I have read a lot of murder mysteries, she began. Oh, this is where all this nonsense is coming from, said the detective. I learned that with most murders, the killer has a motive. That's often the crime is solved, and my aunt has got a very, very strong motive. A motive, miss? Chuckled Strauss. You'll be putting me out of a job. And then, possibly, what could be her motive? The girl took a deep breath before answering. She wants this whole house to herself. She always has, ever since she was a little girl. Oh, is that so, miss? The detective's tone was now bitterly sarcastic. Yes, Stella was sure of it. She keeps on saying I have to sign the deeds to Saxby Hall over to her. Luckily, she can't find them anywhere. Strauss shook his head. Most likely your aunt just wants to take care of everything for you, miss. The detective had an answer for everything. He hesitated for a moment before asking Stella. Of course, the deeds would be very useful evidence in this case. You don't happen to know where they are hidden, do you? No. Without thinking, the girl's eyes darted over to the shelf of the library where she knew the Tiddlywinks rulebook was. Stella couldn't help herself. She wasn't used to lying, and now she was sure she had given away where Papa had hidden the deeds. The girl didn't want Detective Strauss. She didn't trust him. If he knew where the deeds were, he may very well give them to Aunt Alberta. Strangely, the man seemed to come crashing down on the woman's side of everything. The detective smiled to himself. Then why did you look over there at the shelf when you said no, miss? I didn't, protested the girl, unable to stop herself, looking back to the bookshelf again. The detective knew a lie when he heard one. He jumped down from the sofa and waddled over to the bookshelves. What are you doing? Asked Stella. Just browsing through the books you have here at Saxby Hall, replied the detective. Perhaps I should take you to Papa's study, said Stella, gently trying to guide the man out of the library. I don't think so, miss. You run along to the kitchen and bring me back a glass of your best sherry. Now? Gulped Alberta. Yes, now, replied Strauss firmly. And with that, he took the girl by the arm and bustled her out of the library, shutting the door behind him with a giant slam. And the next chapter is entitled Stuffed Owls. Woo-hoo!